I'm excited to welcome on one of the newest members of ING and 2021 star, Kordell Charles. What's going on today, bro?
Not much. You? I'm doing well over here.
Pretty good, man. Well, I mean, it's now been a
Okay.
couple of weeks, even a month now that you have made the announcement
Yeah,
official. You're heading to IMG
yeah.
for your senior season. How excited are you, man?
I'm real excited for this opportunity. I feel it's the best decision for me that I've made, and I hope that I build off of this and prepare myself for college.
And I mean, we were just talking about that. You're going to a place where they probably have the best training at all high schools. They're better than even a
Yeah,
lot of colleges. Just being able to
yeah,
tune in your
exactly.
body over the next year. Well, what do you look forward to about that aspect?
Well, so first I want to put on a little bit of size,
Mhm.
but then also just kind of maintain my explosiveness, maintain my athleticism. And that's obviously, the best place got the best of all worlds. So, with Coach UJ, the strength and conditioning trainer, I know he's going to get me right. And, I'll be ready to go off to college.
And if people look at the rankings right now, obviously you might not be as high as you should be. But obviously,
Yeah,
because you suffered an injury, you didn't get to play a lot in the past year.
yeah,
We know what you're capable of being. We know where you used to be. What are you looking
yeah.
forward to? How do you kind of plan to get back to the old you from a year ago?
Well, as much as, I have to prove the rankings wrong, but like, I want to prove to myself that, I'm still up there and I can compete with anybody. Like, I belong, my name belongs with the best of the best is really what it comes down to. So, I have a lot to prove this year. IMG is on one of the biggest stages really in high school basketball. So, it's really the best spot to be able to do so.
You talk about that
Mm.
coming into that team next season. What do you look forward to being able to go out there and prove?
Well, obviously, I just want to show that, obviously I've been injured. So I just want to show, even with this injury, I can come back and be better than what I was before. So, I just have a lot to prove. I've been working out, extremely hard every day, all the time. So, I'm just trying to make sure that I come back better than where I left off. I'll be satisfied once I'm sure I do that.
For those that might have forgot what you're able to bring to a table, I mean, what would you say your best things are? What are you going to be able to bring to IMG's fourth grade next year?
Well, offensively, I would definitely say, my slashing ability. I feel like my my first step is really what allows me to, get to the rim pretty easily. I could play above the rim. And I think that's the main thing I like to do is definitely I play above the rim and get a lot of dunks. And then defensively I could guard basically any position, 1 through 4. So yeah, I just feel like I bring a lot of versatility to the game.
And there's one approach. I mean, we're going to talk about recruiting in a second, but you know what
Yeah,
IMG's post grad had last year? They have a guy, Kenny Martin
yeah,
Jr., that was able to go straight to the NBA, not following this.
yeah.
When you look at the potential of what could happen if you go out there and do your thing, is potentially going straight to the NBA following this post grad year something that you would consider if opportunity available?
Um, if the opportunity presents itself, if my name's put out nationally, on a big enough scale, then possibly. But I would say I'm going to college. I'll just put that. I'm going to college. So
Okay. That's huge,
yeah,
man. And you're looking
yeah,
at having school like George Mason, USC is probably one of the biggest ones, Tulsa,
yeah,
Ohio, Detroit. A lot of offers are sitting on the table right now for you. What's your
yeah.
thoughts on schools that have offered you at this point?
So, George Mason reaches out to me regularly. I talk to him weekly. I'll be talking to Tulsa a lot too. USC here and there. I'll be talking to Detroit. They're my first offer. I don't talk to them. Same with Bonaventure. And then Ohio University I talk to here and there as well. But like basically, I have a lot of other schools, recruiting me, a lot of high majors and stuff. And so they're just really waiting to see me play, I guess you could put it that way. Because, obviously it's been over a year since I've stepped foot on the court
Mm-hmm.
in front of anybody. So I think they're just really waiting. They're holding off and just waiting to see me play. So what it comes down to.
And as you said, there are a lot of schools that have yet to extend the offer to you, but are interested.
Yeah,
I've read and seen obviously schools like Virginia Tech, Pitt, Marquette, others are also involved
yeah,
with you. Who would you say
yeah.
are some of the schools that have shown the most interest in you but have yet to extend the offer?
I would definitely say so. The ones that you just named right now, actually. So I've been talking to Pitt for a little while. Marquette. How long? I've been talking to Marquette since last summer, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, who else? Who else is there? Virginia Tech, I started talking to not too long ago, but we've been building a good relationship with Coach Young, Coach Frazier. So that's been good. Um, who else? Can't remember the rest of the top of my head, but there's a lot. There's a lot right now.
I believe another one is probably Kansas State as well. They've been, I know,
Yes,
some
yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
What's your volume
yeah.
with that program?
I thought me and Coach Henderson have a good relationship. I say he's a cool guy, and like he actually came out to see me, but like he was unaware that I was injured at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just unfortunate turn of events, but me and him are continuing to build a good relationship, and yeah.
That's awesome. And so take us to this injury. Obviously, that's really what we've been talking about, kind of the focus of your career at this point.
Yeah.
Take us to what happened. How'd you get the injury?
So it was in practice at Andrews Osborne, and like it happened. We were supposed to go, the showcase out in Bahamas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what happened was it was days before that I got injured. So I broke the end part of my tibia. It kind of like snapped off from the rest. So I had to get surgery, put a screw up in it, and then I'm good now. I'm 100% just ready to play. But yeah, so like it happened literally right before the season. And then luckily I was able to get surgery, I'd say about a week and a half later. So, the recovery process started pretty fast, I would say.
That wasn't even my second question. You kind of already answered it. You said you're
Yeah.
100% now. It's not been an easy road. I know that. Take us through the past 6, 7, 8 months now of your recovery process.
So, the first part, obviously in the cast. So what happened was I was in a boot for 6 weeks, and I was supposed to start walking without the crutches. I would say about maybe 4 weeks after the surgery. I was supposed to start trying to walk again, but then like there was just a little bit of confusion. I guess my surgeon told me to wait the 6 weeks, and then I ended up hearing that when it comes to like your ankle bones, it's either you use it or you lose it. So like if I'm not putting any pressure on it, it's not going to grow back. So then that kind of delayed it actually for like almost a month. I would say the whole month of January, I was still walking around in the boot trying to get the bone to heal back. And then, yeah, so it delayed it for a while. And then the whole recovery process, I would say it wasn't difficult at all, really. It was, I took advantage of the time that, I was given, especially with COVID. It gave me an extra few months really to, be ready before any college coach or any scout's going to be seeing me play again. So, as much as, I wish COVID didn't happen, it kind of gave me a little more time to prepare myself, I would say.
That's something a couple of the guys I know that have had to deal with some kind of surgery or injury. I've kind of said, obviously, the COVID has been kind of in a way, a blessing in disguise in terms of just making sure you get more and more prepared. For you personally, have you said, obviously, that you're 100%. At what point would you say you kind of realized you were 100%?
I would say around I'd say late April. Because, like, what happened was I got home to Canada, like, beginning of March break.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I was supposed to be seeing my therapist, regularly throughout the March break. But then since everything got shut down, I ended up not seeing him. So then, like, it kind of just delayed the injury. It just delayed the healing process a lot longer. And then, I was kind of having to be reliant upon myself to try and nurse myself back to health, I would say. It's really what it is. But.
And as you said, you were also on a national schedule team, an elite team last year. You didn't get to play with them. There's some bonds that you obviously were able to build with some of the guys. One of them's Charles that will be heading to Florida IMG as well with you. What's the relationship like?
So, Charles is my guy. I've known him since grade 8, since something called Canada Basketball Junior Academy. We always talk regularly. He was my roommate last year, actually. And then I think Coach Myers is rooming us together again this year. So, he's not a new face. He's been, ever since really I started playing basketball is when I met him. So, we've always been growing together, getting better together. So, yeah.
And he's someone that's going to be making his decision someday, just off his top 10.
Yeah.
For you guys, I'm not sure how the schools all line up, but would it be something that you would be intrigued by or would be open to possibly playing with him in college someday?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I would definitely play with him. the offers start to line up more. The only one I think we share in common right now is USC. But like I haven't played, but if I started to get more of his offers, I would definitely be open to playing with him, teaming up with him for sure.
And that duo is obviously would be another Canadian duo. One that we just saw last year get formed was with Keon and Josh Primo out there, Alabama.
Yeah. Those are my guys too.
That's
my guys for sure.
I mean, you see the way these duos are forming, especially Canada basketball, the way it's growing. I mean, how cool is seeing all these guys that you grew up with, watching and playing with, now make it to America, make it to the big level?
It's obviously it's a great process. Like I love to see my friends, my teammates succeeding, and it's crazy because like all of us, like Primo, Charles, and all the other guys like Ryan Nemhard, we were all playing with each other since going into grade 9. We were on a U-Play team. So, just building up, seeing each other just get way better, way stronger, way more athletic. It's good to see, your friends succeeding.
And the way Canada basketball has developed has been incredible. I mean, I know a lot of people give testimony and credit to Vince Carter, McGrady, obviously back in the 90s, when they kind of started. But a lot of people don't realize, and they won't get to see it this year because the Olympics aren't going to happen. But Canada could be, if they make the Olympics, could put together a team, second Olympic team ever to have full roster of NBA players. You see all 10 or the 15 plus Canadian NBA players. What's that like seeing?
Obviously it's great to see. You could obviously tell Canada is getting a larger footprint within the NBA. And, my goal is to make it to the NBA. I just want to see, Canada basketball starting being recognized as, a global talent, because that's really what we are. So it's good to see.
And what would you say kind of inspired you to start wanting to play basketball?
My dad played. So what happened was I was a soccer guy up until I think I quit going into grade 9 maybe. But yeah, so I used to like when I was young, I was like, no, basketball's not it. I was kind of a soccer guy. So then, as I grew, as I started to get older, I'm like, basketball is definitely a better fit for me. I started to enjoy playing it a lot. I got love for the game now. So I mean, I would definitely say my dad got me into it.
That's crazy. That's awesome, man. And I know one thing a lot of guys talk about is a lot of the Canadian players that make the NBA, SchuZ, Alexander, and Keel, a lot of those guys come back to Canada and help a lot of you guys. Do you have a particular bond with any of them?
I know Shea a little bit. I don't really talk to him like that. I think I've met Nikhil maybe like once or twice or so. But yeah, I've met RJ once. Ignis Brazdeikis, I went to Adidas Nations with him. So, I know him. If I was to see him, we could talk. I could say what's up to him. But otherwise, not really. I don't think I can think of right now.
Growing up, were you a Raptors fan?
Of course. Got to rep the home city, of course. So, it's great to see you finally got a championship.
You personally, growing up then, who was your favorite Raptor?
Vince for sure. Yeah, electrifying dunks, everything. Yeah, he's just an exciting player. It's kind of sad to see him go this year though. Now that he's retiring, especially since he didn't get to finish up his last year, but got a long career.
No doubt. And something that a lot of American teams, we always see them free agency, the guys returning home. We can see them guys going to LA, going to New York, going to all these places to return home. Many countries, there's only obviously Canada's the only other country that can say they have a team a player from out of country come to their hometown team. To see all these guys in the NBA and some of them potentially start going to play for the Raptors more and more and possibly have a superstar on the Raptors someday, what would that be like seeing?
Obviously, it's great to see everybody, seeing Toronto is, starting to be a place, want to come to be, want to start somewhere to build, I guess you could say like that. Because, everybody's starting to recognize, Canada, as I said earlier, as a global talent, and also people are starting to be attracted to it. So, I would say it's great to see that we're starting to get the recognition we deserve over here.
And we talk about all these classes. We talked about 2020 with Keon, Josh, and other guys.
Yeah.
21, 22, 23 has a lot of guys. 23 is obviously headed by a guy that a lot of people also say a top 5 talent. Talk about all the upcoming guys out there. Who's some of the future stars that you see in Canada?
So obviously, Elijah Fisher, this Caleb Houston, younger than me,
Mm.
Shaden Sharp, DJ Jackson. There's a lot of guys. I could keep going, but like, there's a lot of guys that have lots of high major potential and everything. And so yeah, they'll definitely be the face of Canada. I would say face of Canada basketball for sure.
That's big time, man. Let's go to your recruiting process. We just talked about you and Charles. It'd be cool playing with him. Is there anyone else you possibly want to team up in college with?
Not really. It hasn't really came up because me and him are obviously roommates. So we could talk about a lot of stuff. And I guess that's just kind of one of the things that kind of came up just from being around him so often, I'd say. Like otherwise, like I can't really think of anybody that I've talked to about that.
And so did you guys both kind of make your move to IMG separately, or did you guys kind of talk to each other and decide that you guys both kind of wanted to go there?
So what happened was the option was put up on the table. I think, I committed there first.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I was talking to him, telling him, it's the best move to make for the both of us. You should come too. And then I guess like I kind of made my decision a lot faster than him. Mm-hmm. But like, I knew he was going to come. And yeah, it'll be exciting next year to see, what our team does.
And there's one thing that everyone talks about that goes to IMG or is about ready to go there. And that's that, of course, as elite basketball talent, we know that.
Yeah.
On the side of that, it's one of the best football teams in the country there. The best talent, I mean, some of the best athletes in the world in all sports. Just being in basically a world of athletes that lead to the elite, what's that going to be like?
It's really what it comes down to is putting like-minded people all in the same place. So like I'd imagine everybody going to IMG has aspirations to be a pro in their sport, whatever sport they're playing in. And so, it's just good to be around people that share the same motivation, the same dreams as you. And it kind of pushes you push yourself harder, I'd say. So.
That's awesome. And we know that sometime the next year, your decision is going to be made with college, whatever you end up going. When you look at that, is there a kind of timetable that you would like to be committed by?
So I would say probably like in the fall time. We'll see. I guess it'll really just depend on, what schools reach out to me in the future. Because, I expect my recruitment to start blowing up once I start playing again, I would say. So it just really depends on, what schools are reaching out to me and, how the current programs that are recruiting me right now, how they continue to recruit me throughout this process. And then, I don't have no specific date, but I guess it would just as right now, whenever it happens, it happens.
Would you say any other big factor would be being able to go on visits? Is that something you really want to do as well?
Yeah, I would say I want to go on visits for sure. With the whole COVID situation, I don't know how likely it is that I'll be able to go on a visit to whatever school I choose between now and the next few months. Hopefully everything starts to cool off and the cases start to go down, and then coaches are allowed to come out and the players are allowed to go to schools and take visits.
And as we talked about, you are the special 2021 class, hopefully the only class that ever will have to do it, which is primarily going to be done virtually. What are these virtual, what are these calling, what kind of this year's recruiting process been like for you?
So I've had a few calls over this break here. I was on the phone with Iowa State not too long ago, talked to George Mason, I've talked to Marquette, I've talked to Virginia Tech. I'm supposed to talk to Tulsa sometime next week, I would say. So, and then who else? UConn reached out to me today, actually. Okay. I was on the phone with Coach Moore today. And so, we're going to try and schedule a Zoom call sometime in the next couple of weeks. The Zoom calls, it's not as good as going to the school and seeing it for your own eyes. But like, I think the coaches that I've talked to so far have done a good job being very informative about their program and giving me a better understanding of who they are as coaches and what their philosophy is.
That's awesome. And you personally, you set aside all the other factors, just you look at all the options available. What would you say is a dream kind of situation for you? What are you looking for in a college when it does come time for you to commit?
Well, obviously, I'm looking at a school that's going to see the potential in me, not only see the potential in me, but, drive it out of me, make sure, just kind of keep pushing me. You know, I have the self-motivation, but, you know, it's always good, you know, somebody is always there supporting you, making sure, you know, you're doing your thing. So I would say definitely, you know, a coach that's going to push me hard and make sure that I see my dreams turn into reality. And then I'll also say, you know, a good family environment is definitely somewhere that everybody would want to be, you know, where all the teammates get along. And so, yeah, I'll say those are the two main things that will help me make my decision.
And if I'm a scout or I'm an NBA GM and I'm asking you, I mean, what's your ceiling? What kind of player do you see yourself becoming? What would you say?
So some people, I don't know why, but some people see me as a stretch four. But like, people are gonna see this year I'm a 2-3, I would say. So, you know, definitely a very athletic player, somebody who could guard multiple positions, could shoot, take it to the rim. And what I've been working on my game lately is definitely a pull-up jumper. Because, you know, when you get to the next level, the rim's not always going to be available as it is now. So I'm trying to make sure, you know, I'm very versatile and, you know, people, what you want to be offensively is somebody where, like, no matter how much scouting you do, you can't stop them. So that's really what I need to round out my game to be like.
And for someone that might not know you as well still, who's a player that you kind of familiarize you with? I mean, who's a guy you think you play a lot like?
Some people say Paul George. I have some aspects of him. Some people say I got some aspects of Tracy McGrady as well.
How about a Canadian player? Is there someone that's born in Canada and raised there that you see yourself kind of a lot like?
Not really. I'm being honest. Not really.
For sure. And my last question before I let you go, man, is you're going to want to build a legacy for yourself, both what you do on the court and off of it. But someday down the line, when you do decide to step away from the game, what do you want that legacy to be?
You know, I want to be a person that's recognized as a leader, somebody, you know, who always tries to do the right thing, somebody who's caring for other people. I would say, you know, if I make it to the NBA one day, and then after retirement, I want to be one of those people that are kind of, you know, helping out, giving back to the community. You know, there's a lot of people that have helped me get to where I am right now, and I know that there's a lot more that's gonna aid me to get to where I want to be. So I would say somebody, you know, who definitely gives back to, you know, who's helped them along the way and give back to the community.
That's awesome, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you having to come on, my guy, and can't see what
thank you.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate your time.
Anytime, man. You're always welcome on, bro. God bless.
You too.